Hello, everybody, and welcome back to my podcast on leadership. Today, we're talking about the difference between confidence and pride. I think of pride as an experience we have when we've achieved something. We take pride in our work. We might feel pride about certain qualities that we have. But the other side of pride is often fear of failure. So we will often do what we can to prop ourselves up. We will try to look a certain way on social media and not present the struggles it takes to arrive at our destination. Confidence has very little to do with what we've accomplished. We may develop confidence through succeeding at things, but we can also experience confidence in our ability to try something new. And that even if we fail at it, we'll try again. We'll keep working on ourselves. We'll keep applying ourselves. I have a wonderful little book here that I just love. It's Fail, Fail Again, Fail Better by Pema Chodron. And this book was actually her speech to a graduating class at Naropa University one year. And it's about leaning into our fear of failure. A lot of times when we enter into false pride, it's a desire to prop ourselves up, to try to look a certain way. We will defend ourselves if somebody criticizes what we're doing or saying that we've failed in some way. We'll do our very best to disagree with them and try and prove how we're really doing well. So fear of failure is often what constricts us and pulls us away from our full potential. I believe our full potential always exists, and what we're really doing is tapping into it. We think of time as linear, that everything has a past, present, and future, but really there's just the eternal now in which all possibilities exist. So when we fear failure, we will retreat into pride, we will defend ourselves, we will try to present ourselves a certain way rather than acknowledge that there's room for growth. And that's where confidence comes in. Being able to say, I could do better, I'm learning, and I know I'm going to fall on my face a number of times on the way to developing a skill or perfecting something that I'm accomplishing. And maybe we never get to perfect, and maybe we were never meant to. Maybe it's enough that every time we attempt anything, we're fully applying ourselves. So when I think of that idea of leaning into failure, it means being willing to feel the uncomfortable emotions on the way to that state of full confidence. Saying, okay, in this area, I've fallen short. Am I willing to feel into that? Am I willing to experience failure in order to grow and learn? And it's an amazing thing when we let go of achieving success the first time, when we let go of always having to be excellent at everything we do. When I was first learning to ride a motorcycle, I swear I was under it more than I was on top of it. It wasn't an easy skill for me to learn. And I remember on my fourth attempt to do my slow skills test, on the first lap, partway through, my bike stalled. And at that moment, I said to myself, okay, I failed this test, but it's my path to finish the test. So now, without any desire to succeed, it's just, okay, I failed, I've accepted that. I started the bike up, and now I completed the rest of the test flawlessly. Having already failed it 3 times, the rest of the test went perfectly, probably because the pressure to succeed was gone. And I passed the test because the instructor saw that when the bike stalled, I just started it up and continued unflustered. So they passed me. When we stop worrying about getting it right the first time, we actually step back into the flow of our being and the flow toward our full potential. When we have that fear, we literally constrict our energy and it pulls us away from that natural flow. So we're more likely to fail. Confidence isn't necessarily because we know we're going to succeed. It's really a trust in ourselves that if we fail, we'll get up and try again, or we'll try a new way of achieving that goal. We'll keep stepping toward that potential. When you experience fear or resistance, feel into that. What is it attached to? This is where true spiritual growth occurs. Not from those wins, not from succeeding, not from that feel-good sensation of having finally arrived at our destination. It's on the way there. It's sitting in those gritty emotions, feeling the heat of embarrassment, of failure, and sinking into that. What's attached to that? When we look at small children, quite often, they'll fall down, they'll get up again, they'll try something, and they might even just laugh at themselves. It's not until other people ridicule them or make them feel like they should have known better, they should have done better, do they become self-conscious. Our natural state is open. Let's try this. That doesn't work. Let's try it a different way, or let's try it again until we get it. We want to move back into that state of open play. Let's try something. Let's try something new. Let's not worry about how that looks to other people or whether we look silly or stupid in our attempt to learn something. It's not important. Let's just play. Let's just learn. Let's just see what comes of having this new experience. And let's recognize that often the first several times we try something, we're not going to be very good at it. Confidence is that trust that we can keep trying, that something we've set our minds on, a goal that we've set, can be achieved, especially if we let go of how long it takes or what's involved in getting there. We just get up and we take the next step. And if we fail at that step, we take the same step again until it gets easier. And the other side of confidence is being willing to say, I need help with this. I don't know. I'm not sure. I remember as a young mother living in Northern Ontario that I had one doctor who, if I questioned him, would get really angry at me. He wanted to prescribe my son a medication, and my son had had reactions to other antibiotics, so I simply asked, well, what's in this? What are the contraindications? And he blew up at me and basically said he wasn't taking orders from a layperson, and either I was taking care of my child or he was. So I took the prescription, went to the pharmacy, and asked to look at their pharmaceutical compendium. I just wanted some information. By contrast, I had another doctor later on who, if I asked a question and he didn't have the answer, would say, I don't know about that, but I'll look into it and get back to you. And I had such respect for him because he just openly acknowledged if I asked something he didn't have the answer to and offered to get that information for me. So not only did I get the information I needed eventually, but he grew in his knowledge. I think in this world of social media, where there's such pressure to present ourselves as experts, as in the know, as having it all together, it takes confidence to say, I don't know. I'll find out. I'm learning. I'm growing. So as you go forward this week, look at those times that you're in resistance. Maybe you're not trying something new because it's going to be awkward if you do it. It might be embarrassing. Maybe it's the resistance to receiving criticism and having to acknowledge, yes, I could do better. Thanks for that information. Maybe that's hard for us to do. We defend instead. Notice where you're moving more toward trying to prop up that false pride, and rather than engaging in confidence of thank you. Thanks for that information. I'm going to work with that. I want to keep growing. Could I get your help on this? Could I get some feedback? Remember that it's our ego that cares about pass or fail. Our higher self just wants to serve and is willing to take any assistance and information to get there. So have fun this week playing with being that open, playful child energy that doesn't care if your knees get skinned on the way to learning to ride the bike. Try something new. Step outside your comfort zone. Try asking somebody for help that you know is knowledgeable in a certain area. If we're going to move toward our full potential as leaders, we have to be willing to step into the unknown. We have to be willing to stretch ourselves. We have to be willing to fail and get up again. Thanks very much. I'll see you next time.